always imagined healing would feel more obvious than this. I thought moving on felt different, like closure, like relief, like finally waking up without thinking about you. But honestly, it mostly feels subtle. Smaller reactions, quieter nights, less weight behind certain memories. Nothing dramatic changed. I just slowly stopped falling apart every day, and maybe that counts for something. Sometimes I still miss you unexpectedly, but it doesn't consume me the same way anymore. It just passes through quietly now. I thought moving on felt different, but maybe it's just this. I thought moving on felt different. There are still traces of you everywhere. Certain habits stayed, certain songs still belong to you in my head. Some places still feel emotionally louder than others, but I don't panic when memories show up anymore. I let them arrive, sit with me for a minute, then disappear naturally. And honestly, that feels new. I spent so long trying to force myself to be over it, when maybe healing was never supposed to be that clean. Maybe people just become softer around what hurt them. I thought moving on felt different, like forgetting, like freedom. But maybe moving on just feels quieter than expected. I don't think I'm the same person anymore, but for the first time that doesn't scare me completely, because losing someone changes you, but surviving it changes you too. I thought moving on felt different. I thought moving on felt different, but maybe this is enough. Less pain, less fear, less longing at night. I thought moving on felt different, but maybe healing was happening slowly the whole time. The city sounded distant outside, and for once the silence didn't feel lonely. What's your name? Still at the top of my search. I don't even mean to look anymore. My thumb just goes there. The room's been quiet for hours, TV light moving across the wall. I left my phone face up again, like maybe you'd say something. I know it's getting unhealthy, checking if you changed your picture, checking if you were online, checking nothing at all. There's cold coffee near the bed, and I still haven't slept right lately. I keep telling myself it's becoming less important, but I still check your name. Sometimes I still check. I still check. I still check your name. Sometimes I still check. messages again, just to read how normal we sounded. It's strange how people disappear without actually disappearing. Your last voice note still exists, I never deleted it. I don't play it anymore, but I can't lose it either. Sometimes I think I'm getting better. Them little things ruin the whole night, like seeing your favorite drink, or hearing your laugh in somebody else, and suddenly I'm back there again. I still check, like something might change, like something might come back. I still check your name sometimes, even though it hurts a little less now. I still check. I don't even know what I'm waiting for anymore. Maybe I just miss being important to someone. Maybe I got too used to seeing your name every day. The silence after you still feels unfinished. I still check your name sometimes. I still check your name sometimes, just for a second, just to feel close again. I still check your name sometimes. My screen went dark again, and somehow I'm still holding the phone. Why is your chest still pinned? I almost moved it tonight, but I just stared at the screen again until it went dark. There's a glass on my desk from the night you were here. I still haven't washed it, I don't know why. The room sounds different now. Even the ceiling fan feels louder. I keep opening my phone, like something forgot to end. Your last message says drive safe, okay, and somehow that's the part that keeps replaying. You were just here. You were just here. I still think you're here. You were just here. I've been sleeping with videos on, just to fill up the silence, because when the room gets quiet, everything comes back at once. I walked past your hoodie earlier and froze for a second, like my body noticed you before my mind did. I don't even know what I'm supposed to feel yet. Everyone keeps asking if I'm okay. I keep saying yeah before I even think about it. You were just here. You were just here. I still think you're here. You were just here. I checked your profile tonight without realizing. My thumb moved there automatically, and for a second I forgot you were gone. that scared me a little. You were just here. You were just here. I still think you're here. You were just here. The screen keeps lighting up, but it's never you. I still look anyway. I typed your name again tonight, just for a second. I almost texted you again, not because something happened, not because I expected a reply. I just saw something small that reminded me of you, and my brain reacted automatically. It's strange how certain habits survive even after all this time. My fingers still remember where your chat used to sit. My thoughts still reach for you first during quiet moments, not constantly anymore, just sometimes. Usually late at night, when everything feels softer. I almost texted you again, but I let the screen go dark instead. I almost texted you again. A year ago, this would have ruined my entire night. Now it mostly feels distant, like watching an old version of myself from far away. And honestly, I think that means something, because I didn't spiral afterward. I just sat there quietly, holding the feeling for a minute, then letting it pass naturally. I still miss you sometimes, but the missing feels lighter now, less urgent, less desperate, more like remembering a place I used to live emotionally. I almost texted you again, inside midnight silence, inside old instincts. I almost texted you again, but this time I didn't need to. Maybe healing is realizing you can miss someone without reopening the wound every time. Maybe it's finally understanding that certain feelings can't exist without controlling you anymore. And honestly, that feels peaceful in a quiet way. I almost texted you again, I almost texted you again, not to restart anything, just because part of me still remembers how close we used to be. I almost texted you again, then slowly let the feeling leave. The typing bar disappeared, and the night kept moving softly without us. I almost typed your name again, before realizing there's nowhere to send it now. The room felt smaller sitting in the dark, watching cars move outside like everyone else kept going. I replay little things now, the way you said goodnight, the pause before hanging up like you wanted to stay longer. I didn't know that would matter this much. I still reach for you. I still reach for you. Without thinking, I still reach for you. There's a shirt on the chair that still smells a little like you. I keep telling myself I should wash it tomorrow, but tomorrow keeps moving. I've been sleeping too late, scrolling through nothing, trying not to notice how quiet everything feels now. Even music sounds strange lately, like every song knows already. And I hate that, because I can't escape you anywhere. I still reach for you. I still reach for you. Without thinking, I still reach for you. I opened our chat tonight just to see the typing bar gone. I don't know why that hurt more than everything else today. Maybe because it finally looked permanent. I still reach for you. Without thinking, I still reach for you. My screen turned off again, and the room went silent all at once. I reread the same messages, like they might say something new tonight. There's one conversation from October I still know by heart somehow. The way you typed "come over" like it was the easiest thing in the world. I keep scrolling too far back, past things that should matter less now, past jokes I forgot were funny, past versions of us that still felt safe. Sometimes I pause on your voice notes before pressing play, because hearing you again still changes the whole room. I know this probably isn't healthy anymore. I keep replaying old conversations again and again, again and again, like maybe I missed something. I keep replaying old conversations. I started noticing little details lately, how your replies got shorter, how I was always the one checking in first, how you stopped saying goodnight before everything finally ended, and somehow that hurts more now than it did back then. I think part of me is still trying to fix it afterward, like if I reread everything enough, I'll find the exact moment we disappeared. But all I find is how badly I wanted it to last. honestly, it's getting harder to sit with. I keep replaying old conversations, your typing habits, the way you spelled my name. I keep replaying every small thing, like my brain won't let it die quietly. I don't think I'm okay anymore. Normal people probably move on by now, but I'm still here, studying old messages like they're evidence of something. Sometimes I wonder if you ever reread them too, or if I'm the only one still stuck inside all this. I keep replaying old conversations, trying to hear love inside broken things. I keep replaying, even though I already know how it ends. Your last message still sounds alive at night. Someone left outside my window earlier. For a second, I thought it was you. I still hear your voice sometimes, not clearly, not enough to really mistake it. Just small moments where my brain fills in the silence with something familiar, like hearing my name, the way you used to say it, or remembering certain words in your exact tone without trying to. It happens less now, but when it does, everything around me slows down a little. And honestly, I still don't know what to do with that feeling. I still hear your voice sometimes, your voice sometimes, your voice sometimes, soft enough to almost disappear. I still hear your voice sometimes. I used to replay your voice notes constantly. Now I mostly avoid them, because hearing you happy feels stranger than hearing you gone. It reminds me that we were real once, not just memories, not just sadness, actual people with ordinary days together. And maybe that's the part I'm still adjusting to, the idea that something can matter deeply and still end quietly. Sometimes acceptance feels peaceful, sometimes it just feels empty. I still hear your voice sometimes inside passing conversations, inside late night thoughts. I still hear your voice sometimes, and then the room goes quiet again. Maybe memories don't leave completely, maybe they just soften until they stop asking for attention all the time. Because I don't break down anymore, I just pause now for a second and keep going. I still hear your voice sometimes. I doors closed downstairs, and the apartment returned to silence again. I thought the memories would disappear slowly, but they didn't. They just became smaller. Everything reminds me a little now, not enough to ruin the whole day, just enough to quietly follow me through it. A song in the grocery store, your favorite cereal on the shelf, someone laughing the way you used to, the smell of rain through an open window, little things everywhere. Sometimes I barely react anymore. I just notice the feeling arrive, then sit beside it for a while. I think sadness became routine. Everything reminds me a little, a little, a little, not enough to break me now. Everything reminds me a little. I don't cry the way I used to. Now it's mostly long pauses, staring out windows, forgetting what I was about to say. Half-finished thoughts at night. I still imagine you sometimes next to me in quiet places. Not because I expect you back, just because my brain hasn't fully learned the difference yet. And honestly, I don't know if I want it to. Some memories hurt less now, but they last longer somehow. Everything reminds me a little. The train station, late night drives, empty seats beside me. Everything reminds me a little, and I've stopped fighting it lately. Maybe healing isn't forgetting. Maybe it's learning how to survive reminders without collapsing every time. Because you still exist here, just quieter now. Everything reminds me a little. Everything reminds me a little. Not enough to destroy me, just enough to stay. Everything reminds me a little. Even after all this time. The rain started again outside, and for a second I almost reached for my phone. I clean my room tonight, not because I wanted to. I just ran out of things to avoid. The air feels colder now that the seasons changed a little. I noticed that earlier while folding laundry alone. And for a second, I almost reached for my phone to tell you something small before remembering There's nowhere for that feeling to go anymore. I think that's the hardest part now. Not the crying, not the panic, just having moments that still belong to you automatically. Some nights still feel the same, still feel the same, even after all this time. Some nights still feel the same. I've started answering people more, going outside occasionally, pretending my routine exists again. And honestly, sometimes it almost works until something tiny happens. A song in a grocery store, someone wearing your perfume, an empty passenger seat at night. And suddenly everything inside me goes quiet again. Not dramatic quiet, just that heavy kind that sits in your chest for hours. Some nights still feel the same, still feel the same, even after all this time. Some nights still feel the same. I don't think I'm breaking anymore, but I don't think I'm healed either. I think I just learned how to carry this differently, and maybe that's all surviving is. Some nights still feel the same, still feel the same, even after all this time. Some nights still feel the same. The dishes dry beside the sink, and the apartment stayed still around me. The apartment feels smaller when it rains at night. I noticed that again today. I've gotten better at functioning now, answering calls, washing dishes, leaving the house before sunset. Small things, the kind nobody notices until they become difficult. And sometimes I can almost go hours without thinking about you directly, until something shifts quietly. The smell of coffee, a certain street light, the sound of keys against the door. And suddenly you're everywhere again. The room still remembers you, remembers you. Even when I stay quiet, the room still remembers you. Your hoodie finally lost your scent. I realized that last week, and somehow that hurt differently. Less sharp, more empty, like losing something twice. I didn't cry this time though, I just sat on the floor a while, staring at nothing while the washing machine ran quietly in the next room. I think grief changes shape, but never fully leaves the room. Still remembers you, remembers you. Even when I stay quiet, the room still remembers you. not real. Maybe healing is just learning how to carry the silence without letting it destroy you completely. The room still remembers you, remembers you. Even when I stay quiet, the room still remembers you. The rain kept falling outside, and I let it. Remove things from today, but somehow this place still feels like you. Your absence still fills the room. That's the part nobody warned me about. Not missing you, not crying, not even loneliness. Just a strange feeling that you're still here, inside the shape of everything. The chair across from me still matters. The extra pillow still stays untouched. I still lower my voice at night, like you're asleep beside me. I know that sounds unhealthy, but I don't think I know how to live differently. Yet your absence still fills the room, still fills the room, still fills the room. Even silence sounds shaped like you. Your absence still fills the room. I tried opening the windows earlier, hoping fresh air would help something, but the apartment still feels heavy, like grief settled into the walls. I don't think I'm okay anymore, because normal people probably don't talk to empty spaces or freeze when they hear keys outside the door. Sometimes I genuinely forget you're not coming back, and those few seconds before reality returns feel almost peaceful. Then everything collapses again. Something's wrong with me. I can feel myself getting harder to recognize. Your absence still fills the room, inside the kitchen light, inside midnight silence. Your absence still fills the room, and honestly I think it fills me too. I built routines around loving you. That's why losing you feels endless, 'cause now every normal moment has this empty outline around it. And I keep accidentally stepping into it over and over again. Your absence still fills the room. Your absence still fills the room. More than music, more than sleep, more than time passing. Your absence still fills the room, and I don't know who I am without it anymore. The hallway light as it feels. I was laughing with my friends earlier, and somehow you were still there too. I carry this feeling everywhere lately, inside grocery stores, inside taxis, inside crowded conversations, inside songs I never showed you. It follows me quietly through completely normal days. I thought distraction would help, but honestly, nothing stays distracting for very long anymore. My body keeps moving, but my mind feels stuck somewhere else. Sometimes I realize I haven't actually been present for hours, just existing beside myself, waiting for the day to end again. I carry this feeling everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. Even when I'm smiling, it's still there. I carry this feeling everywhere. I don't think people notice how tired I've become. I've gotten good at sounding okay, good at changing the subject quickly, good at pretending I'm listening while thinking about you instead. And that scares me now, because I try to move forward, I really did, but somehow you still exist inside everything I do. I saw someone wearing your perfume yesterday, and it completely ruined my night. Something's wrong with me. Small things shouldn't still affect me like this. I carry this feeling into every room, every late night drive, every quiet morning. I carry this feeling everywhere, and I don't know how to put it down anymore. Maybe I got too attached to being understood by you, because nothing feels fully real now without being able to tell you about it. I hate admitting that. I hate how much space you still take up inside me. I carry this feeling everywhere. I carry this feeling everywhere, inside my chest, inside my sleep, inside every silence lately. I carry this feeling everywhere, and it's starting to feel like part of who I am now. The train doors closed, and I still thought about texting you. I thought time would feel bigger than this, like I'd wake up one day completely different. Nothing changed as much as I hoped. The apartment's cleaner now. My sleep got slightly better. I don't replay old messages every night anymore, but certain feelings still survive quietly. Certain songs still pause me. Certain streets still feel heavier, and some nights still carry your name without saying it out loud. used to think healing would erase things more clearly, but honestly, most of it just softened around the edges. Nothing changed as much as I hoped, as much as I hoped, as much as I hoped. Some things just faded slowly instead. Nothing changed as much as I hoped. Sometimes that disappoints me a little, not because I wanna go backward, just because I thought surviving heartbreak would feel more complete somehow. Like there'd be a final version of healing, but life kept moving quietly instead. People changed, seasons changed, routines changed, and somewhere inside all of that I changed too. Just not in the dramatic way I expected. I still carry parts of you. Sometimes they're smaller now, lighter now, but still there. Nothing changed as much as I hoped. Inside the silence, inside old habits, inside certain late night thoughts. Nothing changed as much as I hoped, but maybe enough changed to keep going. Maybe healing isn't about becoming untouched again. Maybe it's about learning how to live honestly with what remains, because some memories stay, not loudly, not painfully, just quietly human. Nothing changed as much as I hoped. Nothing changed as much as I hoped, but the pain became softer and I became stronger. Nothing changed as much as I hoped, and somehow that feels okay tonight. The city lights blurred through the window, and I let myself sit there a little longer without rushing away. I said I'm okay, so automatically tonight I almost believed it myself. I keep pretending I'm fine, not dramatically, not in obvious ways, just small things, smiling at the right moments, saying I've been good lately, changing the subject before people ask too much. And honestly, most days I function normally now. I go outside more, sleep a little earlier, reply to messages faster, but there are still quiet moments where everything inside me feels unfinished again. Usually late at night, usually when nobody's around, I keep pretending I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. Maybe if I repeat it enough, it'll feel true someday. I keep pretending I'm fine. Sometimes I wonder if everyone notices anyway. The pauses in conversations, the way I stare at nothing too long, how certain songs still change my mood instantly. I think part of me got used to hiding sadness, because after a while people stop checking on you. They assume silence means healing, and maybe part of me lets them believe that, because explaining this exhaustion still feels impossible somehow. It's strange how you can carry grief quietly for so long. It starts sounding like your normal voice. I keep pretending I'm fine through long drives, through crowded rooms, through ordinary mornings. I keep pretending I'm fine, even on nights where I clearly am not. But maybe pretending helped me survive it. Maybe some days you act okay first, then slowly become okay later, or at least something close to it. I keep pretending I'm fine. I keep pretending I'm fine. Less because I'm hiding now, more because I'm still figuring out what healing actually feels like. I keep pretending I'm fine, and maybe lately I almost am. The room stayed quiet again, but this time it didn't feel quite as heavy. People stopped asking if I'm okay lately. I think I got better at hiding it. I don't feel as okay as I seem. I laugh at the right moments now, reply faster, leave the house more often, keep conversations moving from the outside. I probably look normal again, but there are still nights where everything quietly falls apart inside me. Small things still affect me too much. An old picture, a familiar street, hearing someone say your name accidentally, and suddenly I feel emotionally younger again, like none of this ever fully healed. I don't feel as okay as I seem, as I seem, as I seem. I just learned how to carry it better. I don't feel as okay as I seem. Sometimes I worry this version of me is permanent, not the heartbreak itself, just the distance I feel from everything now. I still zone out during conversations, still stay awake too late, still sit in parked cars longer than necessary. And honestly, I'm tired of pretending that's normal. I know healing isn't linear, but some days it feels like I never actually move forward at all. Just learned how to hide the damage quietly. I don't feel as okay as I see. People see progress, but they don't see the nights I don't feel as okay as I seem. And maybe that's hard to admit out loud. There's a difference between functioning and feeling okay. I think I confused those two for a long time, because surviving something quietly stops noticing. I don't feel as okay as I seem. I don't feel as okay as I seem. Not broken, not hopeless, just still carrying things I haven't fully put down yet. I don't feel as okay as I seem, but I think I'm learning to be honest about that now. The apartment stayed quiet again, but this time I let myself feel it, honestly. The TV's still running, but I muted it hours ago. The silence stayed after you. Your cup is still near the sink. I noticed it again tonight. I keep walking around small things like they still belong somewhere. The hallway sounds different now. Even my footsteps feel too loud. I never realized how much noise another person quietly makes. I sleep closer to the wall lately. The other side stays cold all night, and somehow that feels harder than actually losing you. Did everything got quieter after you? The silence stayed. The silence stayed after you. After you. Even when I leave the lights on, the silence stayed. I started falling asleep to videos just to hear somebody talking, because this apartment echoes now in ways it never used to. I caught myself laughing earlier, then immediately felt guilty, like moving forward too quickly means I didn't love you enough. Your name still lives in little places, food orders, playlist, old passwords. I keep finding pieces of you inside completely normal moments, and every time it happens, the room goes quiet again. The silence stayed. The silence stayed inside the kitchen, inside the bed sheets. After you, after you, I think it followed me too. Sometimes I stand in the middle of the room, trying to remember what it felt like before this, before everything became so careful, so quiet. I didn't know silence could hurt this much. The silence stayed after you. The silence stayed after you. Even when the night ends, it doesn't really leave. The silence stayed, it stayed after you. The refrigerator hum, the traffic outside, and everything else missing. The apartment used to feel too quiet. Now it just feels normal. The emptiness feels familiar now, not comforting, not painful, just familiar. I know where the silence settles at night. I know which parts of the day feel the heaviest. I know how to distract myself before certain memories fully arrive. It's strange how people adapt to sadness slowly, without even realizing it. I still think about you sometimes, but it feels different lately. Less like falling apart, more like carrying an old bruise that never fully disappeared. The emptiness feels familiar now, familiar now, familiar now, like something I learned how to live beside. The emptiness feels familiar now. I don't wait for messages anymore. I don't check your profile much. I don't replay conversations every night. But there are still moments where I notice your absence quietly, like reaching for my phone during dinner, hearing good news and not knowing who to tell first anymore. And honestly, that part still hurts a little. Not enough to ruin me, just enough to remind me what changed. I think healing looks smaller than I expected it to. The emptiness feels familiar now, inside routines, inside quiet mornings. The emptiness feels familiar now, and maybe that's not the worst thing anymore. I used to think moving on meant feeling nothing, but maybe it just means the sadness stops surprising you. Maybe it becomes part of the background, less sharp, less demanding, just there sometimes. The emptiness feels familiar now. The emptiness feels familiar now. Not home, not healing, just something I finally stopped resisting. The emptiness feels familiar now, and somehow that feels peaceful tonight. The lights outside blurred softly, and for once I didn't reach for my phone. I found your old mug tonight, pushed behind other dishes like time forgot it there. I washed it slowly, without really thinking, water running quietly against the kitchen sink. While the city stayed soft outside, and for a second I remembered how ordinary everything used to feel. How easy it was to exist beside someone without realizing those moments were temporary. I think about that a lot lately, how in entire versions of life disappear quietly. Some memories stay warm, even after everything. Some memories stay warm. Don't cry much anymore. Sometimes that worries me a little, like maybe the grief faded too far. But then small things happen, a certain hoodie color, a familiar laugh across the street, rain against apartment windows at night. And suddenly I feel you everywhere again, not painfully, just gently enough to remind me that loving someone deeply doesn't fully leave your body. I think part of you will always live inside ordinary moments. Some memories stay warm, even after everything. Some memories stay warm. Through the way your heart changed after knowing them. And honestly, that's a comforting thought. Now some memories stay warm, even after everything. Some memories stay apartment stay dim tonight. And for once it felt peaceful instead of lonely. I passed your street tonight, and for the first time I kept driving. I think I'm learning to let go, slowly, quietly, without really noticing when it started. I don't reach for my phone as much now. Your name doesn't interrupt every silence anymore. And some memories finally feel like memories instead of open wounds. There are still difficult nights sometimes, but they don't last as long. And honestly, that feels important to admit, because for a while I thought I'd stay emotionally stuck forever. I think I'm learning to let go, to let go, to let go. Not all at once, just little by little. I think I'm learning to let go. I still care about you, I probably always will in some way. But the feeling changed shape, it stopped asking for answers, stopped needing closure every night, stopped turning every memory into something painful. And maybe that's healing, not forgetting, just loosening your grip on what already ended. I used to be afraid that letting go meant losing something important, but now I think some love can stay meaningful without staying heavy forever. I think I'm learning to let go inside quiet mornings, inside passing thoughts inside. Come honestly, that feels peaceful lately. Maybe moving on isn't abandoning the past. Maybe it's finally trusting that your life can keep growing around the empty spaces, because they don't feel as endless now, just human. I think I'm learning to let go. I think I'm learning to let go. Not perfectly, not completely, but enough to breathe easier again. I think I'm learning to let go. And maybe that's already enough. The traffic light turned green slowly, and this time I didn't look back. The morning came quietly again, and this time I didn't rush to escape it. Maybe someday this won't hurt, not because I'll forget you, just because time keeps softening things in ways we barely notice while they happen. I still think about us sometimes, during slow drives, during quiet mornings, during certain songs at night. But the memories feel calmer now, less like wounds, more like echoes. And honestly, I think that means I survived it. Maybe someday this won't hurt, won't hurt, won't hurt, not the way it used to. Maybe someday this won't hurt. There are still moments where sadness returns unexpectedly, but it no longer takes everything with it. I can sit beside the feeling now without losing myself inside it. And maybe that's what healing was all along, not becoming untouched, just becoming able to carry the memories gently. I used to think I needed closure to move forward, but maybe peace arrives differently. Maybe it arrives slowly, through ordinary days that stop feeling so heavy. Maybe someday this won't hurt. Inside old songs, inside familiar places, inside quiet nights alone. Maybe someday this won't hurt. And honestly, I think that day is getting closer. You matter to me. I don't think that will ever become untrue, but pain changes when you stop fighting it. It becomes softer, lighter, more like love remembered than love lost. Maybe someday this won't hurt. Maybe someday this won't hurt. Not erased, not forgotten, just carried differently. Maybe someday this won't hurt. And maybe that's enough for me now. The sunlight reached across the room slowly, and for the first time